Welcome in. It is the ATB show at the buzzer, and you can find all of the things at atbshow.com. And if you do jump on there, we are working on, we're starting a dating page. You excited about this?
I mean, I don't think she's going to be excited about that.
No, not for us.
I was like, what's happening?
Well, we've got everything else. So, like, we just don't have our version of Grindr or Tinder or Bumble yet.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So we're gonna call it Fumble.
Yes.
Ooh, we're gonna stay. Yeah. And invariably based on our history of not success. And I included Adam's math too. In honor of the fact that we all seem to fumble our way into robust marriages. I used the word robust there. I don't know if my wife's lawyer will be there. It is. Phone started ringing. Fumble. We're gonna go with Fumble. So be on the lookout for that. That will be obviously one of our co-sponsors. But of course, we're brought to you by our dear friends who keep sending rubber shoes to courtside events. He's either at Fenway throwing out the first pitch, Fenway closing, like he's all over the place. He's at the Celtics games. Joe and Leslie are just like, you know what? We're a little busy tonight. Who's our worst employee? You know what we should do before we get rid of them? Let's send rubber shoes to the Garden. So, and of course, he's like, hey, have to go to another game. It's going to be like his 15th bullet point at the office, right? Like, put topless photos on side of van, drive to talk to clients, go to sporting events that Joe and Leslie don't want to go to. So our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks, sending rubber shoes all over the universe. And of course, you can see his smiling face tonight from the firehouse. He might be leaving soon. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And of course, you can also see him on the Rubber Shoes Wrap Up and Rant. That is every morning on all the social mediums. And soon it will also be a paywall ad that's going to drop down on Fumble, which you'll have to pay for the premium subscription just to get past that and to get to the cuter people, of which none of us will be on there because, to Scotty's point, we're all very happy. We're all practice saying that. We're all very happy. We're very happy. Anyway, Rubber Shoes, take it away for Joe and Leslie, please.
AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
Thank you, sir. Speaking of fumbling and bad relationships, do we want to sort of reverse engineer and just start with the Patriots and the fact that we thought we were getting rid of somebody, we're not getting rid of somebody, like now they're apparently in bed together, I guess, everybody's in love, and then probably the nail in the coffin for anybody that had a slight hope that we might be flirting with Lamar Jackson was OBJ ends up signing with the Ravens for a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't put much stock into the looking to trade Mac Jones thing. I mean, I personally didn't. I mean, why bring Bill O'Brien here and then turn around and trade the guy that you pretty much brought in to help, right?
To fix the glitch.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I never really put much stock into that. And I know even like Gronk came out and called it like fake news or whatever. So I don't think there's very much to that. As for the Lamar Jackson thing, once I saw Odell sign, because I think it was like, wasn't it mid-season? Like Lamar was like trying to get him to like sign with them. You know what I mean? Like this past season or something like that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Lamar does end up working out with the Ravens. He is still just going to take his sweet time, though. I don't think there's going to be any rush on that. But yeah, no, we're not. No more Lamar. It's going to be Mac. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I can tell you this much. Bentley Lane's very happy because she absolutely adores him. And I think he deserves an opportunity to, I say this now, if Lamar was still on the table, I wouldn't be saying this, but here we are. I think he deserves an opportunity to actually have a season with the functional coordinator and with actual forward momentum. And like, we're going to put together an offense that's actually going to function and get plays in on time. Like that to me was probably, that was the unspoken sin that was going on constantly.
Yeah.
Him more often than not yelling at the sideline because they weren't getting the calls in. And, his defense different than offense. Thank you. Yeah, that was on the quiz last week. We got that. But like still the time frame that you get the plays in, they're not making them up on the go, right? It's not like an episode of Chopped, like they show you the ingredients like, oh my God, 2 fullbacks and a
I don't
tight
know.
end. What are we going to
Sometimes
make? Like you knew what was happening.
Right.
Call
Sometimes
the play.
it felt like he was drawing the plays up in the sand, like
Yes.
in our backyards.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
true.
the old Vince Lombardi. There's going to be a seal here and a seal here. We're going to run it up the middle. Yeah. So I thought that was fascinating, but I'm excited for that. And draft is what, the 27th or so?
27th.
And we are still sitting. We're still sitting at 14, and still, I'm going to hold out hope that we will with a short wide receiver from Boston College. We're not going to. He's going to go to some team I hate, I'm sure, but that's all right.
I think he's going to go early, 14, to be honest with you, but we'll see.
You think he's going to go top 10?
I do. I think he's either top 10 or, right around there. Right around like 10.
Yeah. I need him to go to an NFC team that I don't hate so I can root for him. That's what I need.
Sure.
That's what I need. Or the Patriots, either way. High ball.
I heard reports over the last week that they said that there's only one receiver that is worthy of a first-round draft pick this year's draft. Yep.
Who was it? Do you remember?
Whoever the top guy is, I don't know.
I hope it wasn't that kid from Louisville just got into a car wreck. So I hope he's, no, that's no knock on him or anything like that.
Not
but
great.
He's got multiple surgeries and
it was reports that whatever the reporter was, it talked to multiple GMs, and so they said there's only one first round wide receiver in this year's draft.
Right.
Interesting. That's going to be.
We'll see.
I am excited for the draft in regards to the fact that I'm so tired of listening to the BS around this, like, they have to make up something to talk about, even, around the Patriots, even though, like, the Bruins are breaking records, the Celtics are the number 2 seed in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, it's really obnoxious that the media, the Boston media in particular, is just have to, like, come up with this stuff to talk about. Like, come on. I know.
Especially one of the shows. They seem to have a vendetta against Belichick because they just keep digging up stuff and bashing him with stuff. I was like, exactly what you said. You got Celtics and Bruins on magnificent runs this year, and you're talking 75% about the Patriots, who's the off season. There's nothing going to happen for another, week and a half.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's just like, let's move on. Let's focus on the actual teams that are doing incredible things right now, and the fact the postseason is starting for basketball actually kind of started last night. But it's really annoying, and looking forward to moving on, and instead of talking about the draft picks that the Patriots got. You know what I mean? I'd rather.
That's really annoying, is the stupid play-in games.
It's so funny because I'm impartial to it almost. You know what I mean? Like I don't really have like a strong opinion either way. And so because there's friends of mine that are like, you Billy, is like, freaking hate the play-in game, it's stupid. And then the other people are like, I love it because it gives, more opportunity for, other teams and stuff. And of course last night, Miami was the first 7 seed to lose in the play-in game, right? Now it's only like 3 years or something like that. It's been going on, but still, like, it's.
I understood it in the bubble because they had a shortened season, and to figure it out, they'd add more teams. But now it's like we had so many years that it's the top 8 teams that make the playoffs, and now you're like, I don't understand why you have to keep doing this.
Yeah, it's like
there's plenty of games already in a full season.
Full participation trophy for everybody.
Yeah.
Scotty, as an avid gamer, before we get to the Masters or the hockey or the basketball, so as an avid gamer, have you picked up the Masters video game?
Yes, I have.
Do you have 2K3 as well, or 2K23? I suppose.
So I had 2K23. I had my gripes with 2K23. I liked the kind of like the look and feel for the most part, even though there were some parts that were really unforgiving. But since EA hasn't pushed out a golf game since Nam, I was really, really excited to get my hands on that, and so disappointed.
Really?
Oh my God! It's a good looking game. It's a beautiful game. They did a really good job. Masters, like the Augusta, looks ridiculous. St. Andrews is beautiful, like all that stuff. It's really good looking, but it's also a detriment to the game because there's times where you'll be in like a sand trap or something. near my dog who's barking at nothing. A sand trap, and when the camera comes down, you can't even see your swing meter. Why? We're blocking that out? Like, really? Okay.
Interesting.
It's just there's stuff like that. Putting is extraordinarily difficult. It's a legit sim. So it is like
That's what Bubba said. Yeah.
it is a
That's what Aiden
legit
said.
sim.
Yep.
If you are a casual golf fan and like more into just like, hey, I want to play, golf and have fun, pick up 2K. Don't pick up EA. EA is for like hardcore golf fans, and even that makes it's still really, really hard. Eric Neto, who I'm actually going to play golf with after the show, is he got it as well, and he pinged me immediately. He's like, "This is really fucking hard." I'm like, "Yeah,
Right.
It is extremely difficult.
Yep.
Extremely difficult." But
Yeah,
not giving up on it yet. But yeah,
we've
I
had
like
2K23, which Aiden loved, and the graphics are really good. And not that I won't sit and play, but I don't because he's just out there playing. And I just, as dad, I'm just sort of standing there checking out the graphics. And as a gamer dork, I'm like, okay. And then I'm taking his word for it on whether it's good or bad, logistically. And he said exactly what you said. Like, it's super stupid because like you can play enough 2K23 that you just get nasty good.
Yes.
Which is also fun, but it's also not challenging. And obviously you can amp it up and stuff, but like he goes, you can get really good at it. He goes, it's brain damage on the road to the Masters. He goes, it's gorgeous and it's good, but it is not a video game. It is a sim.
Right. When you go to like the putting is the worst of it because in 2K23, they'll give you a putt preview, right? So they give you the line. So in EA, they give you the line, but the problem is they don't tell you, they show you that's the line, but they don't show if you're aiming, if that's where you need to aim for that putt to go in, right? Where 2K, they'll give you the putt preview, then it's about, how well your stroke is on the putter and all that, and if you go left or right, whatever. This one, it just shows you, this is kind of the line you should follow. And then you have to read it yourself, essentially, or try to. And if you're off by like a millimeter, it's going to sail right by. And it's really unforgiving. It's really, really unforgiving.
All right. But, I appreciate that. You're forced that. We'll start doing video game reviews.
Beautiful. Love it.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Madden, the new roster update, phenomenal. $60. $70. Now it's $70.
Don't get me started on Madden. So in theory, Madden is supposed to be this next year's version. In theory, is supposed to be kind of like a new game because they've done they've basically regurgitated this.
It's a
really
roster update
game for the last for the last 5 years, and people are done. People have had it. So Madden, EA came out and said that they're doing almost an entire overhaul. Very, very different next year.
Interesting.
Believe it when I see it. I'll buy it, of course, but we'll see.
Why wouldn't you? How could you not? How could you not? All right. Well, we know who our date is for this weekend. So do we want to talk about the Celtics since we have that pretty much?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm almost
sweep. Move on.
Sweep. Move on.
Wow.
Who sweeps who though? You're scaring me.
Wow.
The Celtics. This was the matchup I wanted. I was always worried about Miami if Jimmy Butler's going to take it to another level.
Yep.
I am not worried about Atlanta.
Oh, God, I don't like the sound of that at all. Now you're freaking me out.
Really?
So Celtics sweep Atlanta.
Yep.
See,
I don't
know.
Little Shoes agrees with me with that.
I'm not saying they can't sweep them, but I would say like the only person that I'm worried about that could just go off would be Trae Young, right? If Trae Young, Dejounte Murray, if they just catch fire, they can catch fire from deep and have a hell of a game, which would steal them one, right? So I'm thinking Celtics in 5. That's the way I'm looking at it. They swept them this year. They were 3-0 against them. Sadiq Bey's playing a lot better now than he was previously. Obviously, Clint Capella coming off a 21 rebound game last night against Miami, which I'm a little disappointed about because in my head I was like jacked to play Miami because I love beating Miami. I just do. And that would have been a more fun series. Now, I don't think it really matters who wins tonight between Toronto and Chicago. I think Miami wins, and they're going to play Milwaukee, which I'm hoping they give Milwaukee a bit of a run because it won't be much of one, but, give them like something to worry about at least a little bit. But as for Celtics Hawks, I'm with Billy around the Celtics should win, will win, but I think Atlanta can steal one. That's what I'm going to say.
So you're going gentleman sweep.
Yes. Yeah. Celtics and
Sweep, gentleman sweep, and I'm going to go. It's got to be longer than it can't be. I don't see a sweep. I want you to be right, Rubbishes. Don't you? You're just freaking me out when you say that so definitively. Definitively.
I think sweep, if not sweep, gentlemen sweep. That's they may let down one game.
I'm going 4-2.
I'm not worried about.
We got 4-0, 4-1, 4-2. I'm going to go 4-2. We don't have Adam's prediction. He's
celebrating with the missus.
Yes.
It's her birthday today.
Mother DeYoung's birthday. Is it Ricky's?
I just want to know
Rick's birthday?
how he doesn't remember that until today.
It snuck up on it. It's like Christmas. Oh my God, is it Christmas again? We shouldn't discuss this because now Jessica's like, wait a minute.
Backed up a fire truck right over Adam.
Wait a minute. You forgot about my birthday.
I'm like, oh, I got to bow out. It's the missus' birthday. I'm like, oh, just remembered that today.
Yep, surprise. You're still married. Yep. He got it. He locked and loaded.
Well,
awesome.
not if he gets on fumble. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe on fumble. A whole new turn of events. Bruins. Are we nervous?
I don't know. They just broke the total points record last night. Beating the Caps, right?
Yep.
Good Lord.
It's unbelievable.
It's NHL. So, I mean, what was it? One of the Tampa Bay teams won the President's Cup and got lost in the first round. So it's happened. It's definitely scary.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, they definitely are talented enough and have a good enough team that is, health-wise, if they stay healthy, they definitely have a really good chance of going all the way.
And he didn't go on a run last night, but it was just nice because they made such a big deal about the 17-game drought for Marshy, and then he scored the first goal last night. I'm like, well, that's good. So now we're over that hump. He's in the mix. I think the sorcery that Pasta's scattering around the rink right now, I don't want to see that get even lukewarm. Like that needs to, I hope he just stays that way. But it's again, we talked about this a while back. I think based on the current schedule, and things could change because series could wrap up faster. But based on the current schedule, Game 7 for both the NHL and the NBA are slated for Sunday, Father's Day, June 17th, I believe. So when you think about the fact that this Saturday, is this Saturday?
That can't happen.
We start with Atlanta. Go ahead. What?
You think they're gonna play both home games?
No, but we talked about this a while ago. We talked about this a while ago. They're currently slated. Both Game 7s are slated for Father's Day. No, they're probably going to move. They're probably going to move stuff around. And for a little while, we're like, what if it happens in Boston? That would be amazing because the city would melt.
Yeah.
All that being said, it's crazy, and there's a lot of time between this weekend when the Celtics start and what would be a proposed Game 7 for the finals in the NBA, in which I predicted before they got Kevin Durant, you're welcome, I'll sign babies after the show, that the Phoenix Suns would knock us out in Game 7 of a final, which I know is not a popular prediction, but I also said 98 and 64th for the Red Sox, and look at us now. So usually I'm like Bizarro, Jerry. Like whatever I say, it's going to go the other way. So I got to stay negatory on the season predictions because I said the Bruins are going to just be a mess. I don't know what I said, 2 wins all year or something. I don't know, but so.
Yeah, my prediction's dead. I said it was going to be the Mavericks and the Celtics, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no. I don't remember what I said, to be honest with you. I really
anyway,
don't.
my point being, there's a big stretch. We're starting this weekend, and we're going through mid-June, and a lot can happen with both sports. But so insofar as, and of course, I don't know, when's the NHL start? Early next week? Because our last game is Thursday night, or does it start this weekend?
So,
Yeah, no,
it's the following weekend, isn't it?
I don't know if they take a full week off. Maybe
because we're off tonight, and then Montreal tomorrow.
Yeah, they're not as. I don't think they're as bad as the NBA is about starting
the big breaks
on a weekend, and so It might. They could start next Wednesday. Who knows? I looked up stuff. There was nothing of when it's
Nothing
going to
yet.
start.
Okay.
They're still waiting. Like right now, Boston has one of 3 teams that can play in the first round right now.
Okay. So the seedings aren't done. Okay.
Yeah, because it's Florida, the Islanders, and the Penguins. They're all within a. So Penguins are 2 points behind the Panthers. They all have 1 game left to play, and they're 1 point behind the Islanders. Right now, the Islanders are sitting in the 8th spot. That's who. If it ended today, it'd be the Islanders, but they're all within a point of each other. So
that bothers me because
April,
the Island. Nobody has our ticket this year, but the Islanders historically, like last year, the
Yeah.
Islanders ate our lunch every time we saw them.
April 17th, by the way. That's the first official start date for the NHL playoffs. So 5 days from now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what it says. But yeah, Celtics start this Saturday at 3:30 against the Hawks. That's their first
Okay.
game.
yeah,
And the NHL starts Monday. All right.
Whether or not it's that, I don't think we don't know if it's the Bruins or whoever it's going to be. But
Yeah, we can't make series predictions because we don't know who that is yet. But
I mean, according to my brother, Stevie's already like, the Bruins have got the cup. And I'm like, you don't watch hockey, first of all.
yeah.
But he's like,
it's
but they're killing everybody. They've 63 and 12 and da-da-da and all this stuff. And I'm
so,
like, yeah, but dude,
so
that doesn't mean a
uncomfortable.
damn thing.
So
I will say
uncomfortable.
this, though. It's so, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way. It's very different than like the Patriots in 07, right? Or even like the Celtics as a number 1 seed, because like I am very uncomfortable with it, but it's because someone's already done it before, right? Twice actually, where they've, Detroit and then Tampa Bay, they lost. They didn't win the cup. So they've, this has happened where they set records and they did not win it. Now, do we want that? We want us to be the difference, right? But yeah, it's just, it's not one of those like infamous situations where like the 18-1, still hurts inside. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just, I can't wait for it to start. I love playoff hockey. It's it's really probably the best thing about the sport, for sure.
It's what?
So I was upstairs for Easter on Sunday, and I had to dismiss myself
Oh,
because I had dropped an MFer in front of my niece and nephew up there watching the Masters, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go downstairs. I'm sorry, I can't keep it together. And then my wife later in the day, she's like, so is this what I have to look forward to for the next month and a half? I'm like, hopefully.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Most likely.
God, I hope so.
Most likely.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so,
yeah,
man. It's going to be, the fact that they're both in there and they're both legitimate title contenders is just, it's why it's, what you heard. I don't know if you guys saw Rondo the other day. He was on ESPN, I think yesterday, and he was talking about obviously the Celtics, and he's like, it's title town for a reason. He's like, we don't hang. This is his exact words. He said "we," which I thought was pretty great. He's like, we don't hang Eastern Conference championships in those rafters.
Right.
That's not what we do. We win championships. And I was like, yes. It was a nice little reminder, nice little shot too. I loved it. So it was pretty cool. Even though his hair and his mustache looked terrible. Would I
not be able to pick him out of a lineup right now? What's happening?
Oh no, you would.
Oh.
No, you would. It's like he's trying to grow a mustache, but maybe a little bit too hard. And he's got like these the rows, but they're uneven. I don't. Just look it up.
No, I'll check him out. All right.
I should not be talking about fashion with anybody, clearly, but yeah.
We clearly had a memo about light blue hoodies, which is great. I appreciate that.
As soon as I saw you wear that,
Rubber Shoes are our loyal civil servant, obviously dressed for work, which we love. I'm waiting for the horn to go off, a cat to meow, burgers and tots. All the possibilities are on the table right now, which is exciting. So I have to get, because I think it was ridiculous what happened. You saw the play this past week. I'm not sure what night it was because I don't have NBA center court to watch LeBron not get fouled. But apparently, if you do have center court to watch LeBron not get fouled, can you explain that to me as probably our most dedicated NBA? Well, yeah, I think for the NBA you are. WNBA definitely goes to Adam, but for the NBA, what in the actual hell was that? Like, how did he get that whistle? How did he get the non-contact? You saw the non-contact foul where he flexed afterwards.
Yes, yeah.
How does
and1
that
there.
happen?
That's the NBA today. That's how it is, man. And so you can even look at last night's game, right, against Minnesota, which
Jimmy Butler got one last night.
What's that? Yeah, he got one too. It's just how the NBA is. They are going to cater to stars, and look at like what they did last night in the second half. Like the Lakers really had no business winning that game last night.
Yeah.
They won that game. Refs really helped them out. They got Cat into Karl Anthony Towns into foul trouble. You know what I mean? Relatively early, or I should say, I guess early. I mean, like late in the third quarter, but early fourth. He had 5 fouls, so he had to come out. The free throw discrepancy in the second half was massive, and LeBron's getting like all the calls. And it's funny because everyone will talk about like, oh, well, he didn't get that call against Boston when Tatum hit him on the arm, which was a foul. Yeah, that's one freaking call. Yeah. And the dude acted like, you know, his grandmama just died. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, it's like what he's so dramatic. And
I'm so excited we actually got back to that because yes, it was a foul after a flagrant travel.
Yeah. And
he took like 7 steps. He took like 7 steps.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously obvious.
It wasn't a Euro step. It was a Euro vacation. Like he took all the steps. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
So the refs have marching orders. We need to keep LeBron in the playoffs as long as possible.
Well, I know I'm wrong when I say this, but is he not the reason even the conception of a play-in game happened?
Oh no,
he's the reason.
Definitely a main reason of that. Yeah, absolutely. Like and it's funny because like they talked about it with like the bubble as Billy brought up and stuff too, but he was a part of those conversations and stuff too. And I like Barkley after the game last night was like, you had no business winning that game, and you aren't going to go very far if you play like that. He's like, this ain't the bubble, dude. Like, you need to, like, actually, you guys think you're better than you are, and he's 100% right. And so does the media, and so does the NBA. Like, the NBA is giving them a
Kendrick Perkins is smoking some really good trees.
Wow, what happened?
Kendrick Perkins predicted they're gonna make it to the finals.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but Perk is Oh, he's smoking some really good trees. That's what you said. Okay.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like, yes. No, that's it. I don't think, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I don't think they get past Memphis.
Oh,
I really don't. Memphis is
after watching last night,
sleeping on Memphis, man. Memphis is a really good team. And also the team that has like that swagger and cockiness that they want to beat. Like they want to beat LeBron.
Yep.
You know, his first time back. You know, like I think it was Dylan Brooks might have mentioned. I think it was Dylan Brooks, and he came out and said, you know, it's that legacy's there, where it's his first time back after like I think missing the playoffs the last 2 seasons or something, and you want to knock him out in the first round. That's a part of the legacy. You want to be a part of that, you know, and absolutely, I would love to see Memphis knock them right out. I would also love to see Brooklyn knock out Philly, but I don't think that's going to happen either. But I do think Memphis will beat. I think Memphis will beat LA. I think it'll go 6, but I think Memphis wins.
When Perkins said that, I'm like, you understand it. In order for that to happen, LeBron and AD have to carry them every round. And when's the last time AD's been healthy for more than like a month?
Right.
And same with LeBron. I mean, LeBron's what? He's 37, 38?
38. 30, well, he's 37. He'll be 38 in I think a couple of months or a couple of weeks, whatever. But yeah, he look. I'll say this: as a 37-year-old dude that's been in the league since 1989, he's an incredible athlete, absolutely an incredible basketball player. You know, he's a top 5 all time, top 10 all time player. Right. What people get annoyed with is the fact that he likes to proclaim himself, all that stuff. Like after the game, he did like the
crown.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
like the crown on that. I'm like, it's exhausting. Like that's the stuff that's just really that's what really grates against a lot of people and why they don't like him, is because he's telling you that I am the greatest. When really, if you're the greatest, you don't need to tell anybody about it. Right. You know, we just know. And that's why like MJ is the greatest.
Yeah, it's funny. I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and they were talking about having this interaction with this person, and it wasn't great. And the person started the whole disagreement with, "I'm a lawyer," and when you have to tell me that you're an attorney,
Yeah.
You're probably not a very good one. First of all, you could prove it through your your debating skills, your knowledge without having to reference it, but like all those things, right? And I think it's Shakespeare. Methinks the lady doth protest too much, right? Like if you have to
Right.
tell
Right.
me that you are a lawyer, you're probably not a good one, or maybe you're just saying that you're a lawyer. And then above and beyond that, when you crown yourself the king in an environment where there's enough, I love this term, there's enough old heads hanging around. You've got Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal. We were joking about this last week, remember? Right? What about Kobe? What about Michael?
Yeah,
right. Like, right, like in the grand scheme of things, like when Shaq is asking the dais, like, are we not talking about Michael and Kobe? And you can't like just stop the whole. Well, but if they played now, okay, nope. Michael never asked for it. Like never. Like and Kobe, arguably, I think if you got. And he probably has, because I haven't watched all the shows. Sorry, Scotty. I know I'm going to get kicked off the program.
Killing me. You're killing me.
I'm sure if you get a cigar and a drink into Jordan's hand and get him to get real honest, he might admit that Kobe, when he trained harder than him, right? And because we hear the stories about how Kobe got to the gym before and waited out people. When people came into the gym, were trying to wait him out, he'd wait them out, and they'd finally leave because it was tomorrow and they had to go home. And Michael had that ethic, and Larry Bird would
running around the top of the gym and
Larry Bird, like the Bull gangs, like Larry, we got to pull up the floor. The Bruins play tonight, and he's out there still shooting threes. Hasn't got changed, hasn't got showered, and I'm not saying LeBron doesn't do that. I'm not saying he's not a phenomenal. He's going to go down as one of the all-time greats. And if that's not good enough for you, then I don't know, because stop calling yourself the king. Stop calling yourself the greatest. He is such a talent, and he's so polarizing. And I'm saying this knowing that Bentley Lane is polarized by what I'm about to say because she does not like him. He does not draw people to the screen. I don't find out LeBron's playing and cancel my wake and funeral to watch him play.
Exactly.
But this past weekend, Tiger Woods was appointment television.
100%.
Because almost every guy I know loves him, and a lot of women, for obvious reasons, don't like him. There's 4 in my family that hate him. I haven't asked the cats because they can't verbalize it, but maybe Margaret, my cat, doesn't like him either. All the women in my household don't love him because of his history, blah, blah, blah. And he draws people to the sport. There are people he's playing alongside right now that are golfers in the PGA and in LIV because of him. And I'm not saying that LeBron hasn't had that effect as well. But stop calling yourself the greatest and just be it. Stop telling me who you are. Show me who you are. And you, unfortunately, on your fake fouls, flexing afterwards, putting an imaginary crown on your head, you are showing me. You're a douche monkey. Is that a word?
Yeah.
It's out there now.
Yeah, it is now.
He's an idiot. He's such an idiot. Like, he's such a clown.
He is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's a joke. He's a joke. But can we go? Can we hop into the Masters?
We can
though?
go anywhere. I'm sorry. I'm just so done with the
No,
fake
no, it's
fouls
okay.
and
I hate him too.
him crowning himself the other night. I'm like, who's allowing this? Yeah. And the audio I sent you the other day too, which totally drove me crazy when he was getting interviewed at his locker and the whole team was making the goat noises.
Oh, I know, and he doesn't even react.
So his locker room, his team thinks he's the goat. Nope. That was Bill Russell.
Sure, they weren't douche noises.
Yes, they were in the moment. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway,
But the Masters was weird. It was great. It was fun, but it was nuts because of the weather and like the way that the rounds were, and it was tragic to see. Like I loved the fact that, first of all, let me ask you this: when at the end of on round 2, right? So what was it? Saturday morning. Was it Saturday morning? Was the end of round 2, right? When JT is up there and now he's 3 over, right? And he knows if he makes a bogey, basically, he moves the cut line to where Tiger makes it. Do you think, like, okay, maybe I'll just miss this. You know what I mean? Like I'm wondering if, because he's, you know what I mean, or if he does it, I'm wondering if like Tiger's like, damn it, Justin, I'm exhausted and my freaking, my plantar fasciitis is killing me right now. I wanted just some thoughts that were going through his mind as he missed that, obviously missed the par putt.
Is he willing to miss that to move the cut to make sure he gets to the weekend? I don't think it's out of the question because I think they have a close enough relationship. Yep.
Tied the record for the consecutive cuts for 23 years.
I don't think it's out of the question. I also think he's as competitive as Tiger is, and wouldn't be willing to do that. And by the grace of God, Tiger played Saturday, didn't play Sunday because I was at my parents' house on Sunday. So Mom loves her golf, but yeah, it was a much more joyful Easter without Tiger teeing it up. So I was driving down, I'm like, the Lord has risen. Thank God. Yes. Thank God.
I felt bad. I felt bad for him because it was just he looked
crushed
so
on Saturday. Yep.
And he looked, and he did, and he was devastated. He didn't want to.
Yep.
He wanted to play. But he just couldn't. There's just no way.
The coolest thing, somebody posted the whole list of everything he's ever done, and they're like, and yet he's still out there grinding.
Right.
And to me, it's so true. Like he's giving it everything he possibly has, doing his best to compete at a high level. I fear that's probably his last Masters. I don't know. I mean, unless something amazing happens, because as he gets older, as he keeps working, the other thing somebody pointed out, which is, I heard it on the PGA channel on SiriusXM, in order to take the stress off of his legs, in order to create the power he needs to create, he's been working so much on his core. And so many people are just like, and that's got to be doing an additional number on his already depleted back. And like, I just don't know how many more times he can tee it up and wind it up. I want him to keep coming up for the majors. And when people are just like, oh, he's like a live guy, he's only playing in the bit. Oh, okay, he can do whatever he wants.
He really can. Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants. And he's earned the right to come back to the Masters as long as he's alive. Yeah. And he's eventually just going to be, he's going to be up there with Watson and Jack and the Black Knight eventually. And be teeing it up with those three and be the fourth, right? The new Sam Snead.
Exactly.
So.
But I mean, I think he comes back next year to try to make that 24th cut. I really do. I could really see it, unless something drastic happens. But I mean, and it's funny. There was like, I think I saw like an online petition of someone, people like trying to say just force Tiger to take a cart. Let him take a cart. Spieth said, I think it was Spieth. No, it was Rory actually. I think said, if Tiger was able to ride a cart, he'd be the favorite in this tournament right now. Because it's just the problem with Augusta for him, it's so hilly.
Which is really funny because people don't realize that. I'm not saying that like I've played there, but people, when you watch it, you don't realize how hilly it is.
It's crazy.
And it's a hike.
It really is. Yeah, it is. It's a really, really long one. And the fact, and that's why I give Rahm so much credit because of the way that because of the weather and the way the rounds were played. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, he had to play, like, it was a marathon. It really was a marathon for him. And I give him so much credit. Also, I was really rooting for him, and I know Billy was too, and against Koepka, because, I don't think anybody wanted to see that. I know Greg Norman must be like, dancing and be all excited because there were 3 live guys in the top 6 or whatever it was. But yeah, it was like, especially Patrick Reed, who's got like the most punchable face I've ever seen. But it's just freaking guy. I despise him. Also, speaking of Phil, you just mentioned
I sort of forgot he went, honestly.
Oh, Patrick Reed.
Because it's like, where's Patrick Reed been? And
he came on strong.
And Bubba's like, Teddy's with Liv. I'm like, you're making my point. Yeah, I haven't been over on the CW, and I love that Jim Nantz worked that in. There was that shot. There was that shot where Koepka was walking. He's like, there he is on the CW, the crosswalk. Yes, that was so good.
Nobody calls it that. I love Nantz. I love it. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
It's so amazing.
And what an iconic week for him too. He called his last Final Four.
Yep.
And he's just like just a kid in a candy store. Like he's so good. What I'd love to see, and I know I've put this out before. Here's my shameless plug for the next Capital One Classic or whatever they're calling them. I think Romo and Nance should mix it up with 2 golfers. You put Romo on one team, right? Maybe you put Romo with Rory and Nance with JT.
Yeah.
Or have JT and Spieth because they're so close. Have them each take Romo because Romo and Nance are both avid. Romo's really good. And you put those two, mixing it up with JT and Spieth, and then you got Chuck calling everybody terrible. Like, yes, all of it. And I think honestly, they got to figure out a way for no reason. Just get Shaq on the dais too.
Oh my God.
It'd be amazing. He's so good.
I could not see Shaq. I think I've seen him like swing a club, but it was like in jest. And it was
Oh no, I just want him on the desk making tomfoolery.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, just shoving Chuck into the bushes. I don't need him hitting the ball. No. Yeah, I just need him to be like, what about Michael? What about Kobe? Right. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Inside the NBA is still like one of the only like pre and post game shows and halftime show that it's like appointment television for me. I love that show.
Yeah.
Love that show. I like the Thursday one with EJ and Kenny Smith and Chuck and Shaq. Tuesday's okay, with Jamal Crawford and Candace and those guys, but Shaq's on that one too. But yeah, I'm a big fan of like that show. It's freaking hilarious.
Yep.
Barkley's,
amazing.
He's amazing. He's a gem. We need to keep him.
National
safe.
National treasure.
Really
keep him
is.
safe.
Yes.
Keep him sealed.
But I was pumped that happy that Rom won, especially because he deserved it. Go ahead, Billy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I thought it was a little boring because it was Koepka and Rom. The whole every day they were in the lead, so it was like no one really pressed them. It was, and the guys were making a run on Sunday, coming up, 6 under, 7 under, but those two never really felt well. Koepka fell back and then he got back into it, but Rahm never fell back. There was no one really challenging to make it more than those two guys, so it was kind of boring that way. But it was nice to see some guys make a push there on Sunday. I was like, oh, maybe if they slip a little, they'll get right back into it and make it interesting, maybe a playoff. But yeah, it's still great. I still watched it all day Sunday. I didn't get to watch the first, I didn't see Tiger at all because I didn't get to watch the first 2 rounds. By the time I caught the end of the second round on Saturday, he was already done.
Yeah, it's the footage of him walking back to his bag, and he's just limping over there, and it's just like, oh, and I like none of that. I was thrilled he made the cut for the record, and because he deserves to be out there as much as he possibly can because he's amazeballs. But yeah, it's just so painful to watch him not be good, and it's got to be so frustrating for him, and can't even imagine. So, yeah, I'd love to. I mean, I think anything's possible, and maybe they get to a point where they decide, for the good of the sport, that they let him start to ride before he goes to the Champions Tour.
Yeah, I don't know if he would do that. That's
probably wouldn't.
I don't think he would ride. I don't think he would. I think he's so proud and stubborn and wants to do it the traditional way, which I mean there's half of me that's like, come on, it's for us. It's not for you, man. You've done enough for yourself, you know what I mean? But at the same time I also understand.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. I know, Scotty, you got to leave
Scotty's got a tea time.
Did you guys see his press conference when they were asking him about, I guess there's these balls that make it hard, like the technology with the clubs don't work with these new balls that they're introducing. They're saying so they don't go as far. So you actually have to. It kind of brings everyone back to the pack. And he was like, I'd be for it because he knows he's good enough to play with them.
Yeah, they're talking about and this is going to create a quandary for all the product developers. They're basically saying to Titleist and everybody else, Bridgestone, everybody else, there's going to be a Pro V1 for Tim Lindsay, and there'll be a Pro V1 for Scotty Scheffler. There'll be a consumer version and a pro version. And like they said, first of all, is it the ball? Do we want to start to dumb down the ball? Does that make sense? Kids
are probably easier to do that than all the clubs.
Well, no, I know, but you can move the tee boxes back like they did on 13 Azalea. The tee boxes way back at Augusta, and they can't do that everywhere. I get that. At the same time, I don't know what it is, but I think the fact that I know that I can go and grab a Pro V1 and be hitting the same ball that the pros hit, or grab a Paradigm from Callaway, or the Stealth 2 from Taylor, or the new TS1 from Titleist, and they're going to start making two different SKUs. I don't know. I don't think it makes any sense. And I think Rory and JT was definitely annoyed by it, which is funny because he's so close with Tiger. And Tiger's like, oh, I don't care. Tiger's like, I'm not really worried about it. It's like, I don't have to walk as far to get to my next ball. Like,
Exactly.
He's just thrilled. Yeah. Less of a walk from me. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm dying to see where that actually ends up.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I haven't heard a lot about that. I did like Rahm's tee shot on 18 though, even though he didn't like it because the way it spit out was like really short. And I'm like, hey, that kind of looks like one of my drives sometimes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, and it was weird too. In a moment like that, for him to play a provisional, and for him to be just like, I'm good. I got this, right? and then the up and down he drops near the pin, and it's just a fait accompli at that point, which was really cool.
Yeah, his short game is. It's insane. It's insane.
Yep.
It's insane. Like he's ridiculous.
Well, make sure you roll a camera while you're out there tonight so we can see your short game. We're very excited for you.
Yeah.
You're going to hit men's league. Rubber Shoes is probably going to go pull a cat, a dog, or some tots out of a tree. No calls yet, buddy. You made it the whole show. I love it. Oh, yeah. Don't wake the sleeping giant. Don't wake the sleeping giant. Yep. Yeah, it's very active. It's springtime. The sun is out in Lowell. Very active, very active. Well, we want to thank you guys for hanging out. If you have the opportunity to jump on atbshow.com, and obviously if you're here right now checking us out on YouTube, we really appreciate that. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and above and beyond that, find all of the other stuff at atbshow.com. Rubber Shoes will be back at it first thing in the morning with the Rubber Shoes wrap-up and rant for Scotty and Rubber Shoes and myself and Adam, who is out at a surprise birthday party because he forgot about it. We'll see you in and around the internet. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.